everybody. This is Coach Christy from CrossFit Mokina, bringing you our workout for Friday, April 10th, 2020, called Deuces. Before we get started, I am excited to announce that the second workout of the 3-week online CrossFit competition will be released today on Friday. So make sure you check it out. Go to games.crossfit.com/open to get yourself registered. Also, don't forget to participate in the weekly challenge. You have to be registered and finish that by Saturday to get your name in the hat for the drawing for the weekly challenge. So I'm gonna bring you guys up to the whiteboard so we can get a closer look. What do we have going on today? For our warm-up, we're gonna start with a 30-second jog, followed by 10 knee pulls, 5 on each leg. Broom shoulder stretches. If you have a PVC, CrossFit Mokina members, these are just PVC shoulder stretches. And then we're going to stretch out our hamstrings. After that, we're going to do 6 of each movement in the workout. The movements in the workout, we have sit-ups today. We have jumping squats, dips, which can be done on a chair or a box, kettlebell or dumbbell overhead squats, glute bridges, tabletop touches, burpees over our kettlebell or dumbbell, mountain climbers, and shoulder taps. Quite a few movements today. Our strength is going to be a 10-minute EMOM. Every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. We're going to do 35 to 40 seconds of good mornings. Depending on your object, you're going to want to hold your weighted object either at your chest or on your traps. And we'll discuss that when I get to that part. The workout then is called Deuces. It is a 22-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible in 22 minutes. We're going to do 25 sit-ups, 20 jumping squats, 15 tricep dips, 20 kettlebell or dumbbell overhead squats, 10 on each side, 15 glute bridges, with some options to make them more difficult. You can elevate them or do them weighted. 10 tabletop touches, 5 on each side, 10 burpees over our kettlebell or dumbbell, 20 mountain climbers total, and then 20 shoulder taps, either in a handstand or a plank. This website down here at the bottom, games.crossfit.com/open. That's where you can go to get registered for the free online 3-week competition, and workout 2 is being released today. If you have not completed workout 1, that is okay. You still have time to get that workout done and get your score online. So plenty of time to complete workout 1, and workout 2 is released today. So for our warm-up, as I mentioned, we're just starting with a 30-second jog. So just in place, we're literally just gonna jog. Then you need to then we're gonna do knee pulls. You can hold on to something for balance if you need, but we're gonna keep our torso tall and pull our knee into our chest. Hold it a couple seconds and then switch to the other side. Hold a couple seconds and then switch to the other side. So we wanna do 10 knee pulls. Then we're gonna grab our broom, our mop, or maybe a PVC and do some shoulder stretches. I suggest starting with 10 pass-throughs, backwards and forwards 10 times. Then I say 5 around the worlds. I'm gonna lead with the right, follow with the left. From another angle, lead with the right, follow with the left. I would do 5 around the worlds one way, and then I would do 5 around the worlds the other way. Another thing you can do is put the PVC behind you, one hand at your head, the other at your low back. We can pull up to the ceiling and hold that position, or we can pull down to the floor and hold that position. Another thing you can do is put your broom, mop, or PVC in front of you. One hand on the PVC, bring your chest to the floor. Switch and make sure you do that on both sides, and you can even do that with both arms on your PVC. From there, we're gonna stretch out our hamstrings. I'm gonna put my leg in front of me, sit down slightly, and move my hips back. Another option for this, we do have dips today, which means you probably have a chair or a box. Feel free to put your leg up on the chair or box and simply sit down straight, and that'll get the stretch in the back of the hamstring. After that, it's a long list. We're gonna do 6 of each WOD move, 6 of each movement in the workout. We're starting with sit-ups. With your knees pointing towards the ceiling, you have the assistance of your quads. Butterfly is going to be a little bit more advanced. We want to touch the floor behind us and in front of us, making sure we're getting that full range of motion. For those jumping squats, it's just like an air squat, but with a little bit of air underneath our feet. So my feet are going to go underneath my shoulders. I'm going to push back to get my weight in my heels. And when I ascend, I'm going to jump and jump and jump. So we're simply doing jumping squats, hence the name. Then we're going to do dips on your chair or your box. With your legs bent, it's going to be easier. With your legs straight, this is going to be more challenging. I'm going to dip down, press up, dip down, press up. So again, we're doing 6 of everything. After that, we have kettlebell or dumbbell overhead squats. We're going to do 6 on each side. So kettlebell or dumbbell overhead, and then the same setup as our air squat. Feet underneath my shoulders. I'm going to push back to get my weight in my heels, fight to get down below parallel, full hip extension at the top. So kettlebell or dumbbell overhead, fighting to get below parallel, full hip extension at the top. For those glute bridges, the easiest version is simply laying on the floor and lifting our glutes to the sky, hence the name glute bridge, squeezing the glutes at the top. If you would like a challenge, go ahead and grab a weight and put that weight on your hips. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Another option, we already have either our chair or our box out for those dips and maybe the hamstring stretch. Feel free to put your legs up on a chair. This is going to increase the range of motion. Lift, lower, lift, lower. If you want a double doozy of a challenge, elevate your feet and grab your light kettlebell or dumbbell, put that on your hips. So we're increasing the range of motion and we're making that weighted. From there, we're going to go into our tabletop touches. I want you to think opposites. Opposite arm to opposite leg. So I'm going to be in a crab pose, meaning I'm on my hands and my feet and my hips are lifted. And I'm going to try to get my right hand, this is my left hand to make contact with my right foot and vice versa with my hips off the floor. This would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If we can't do that, keep your hands on the floor and we're just gonna lift our legs. So you can absolutely modify that if needed. From there, we have burpees over our kettlebell or dumbbell. So same burpee as always, chest and thighs to the floor, but rather than clapping overhead, we're simply going to jump over our kettlebell or dumbbell. So chest and thighs to the floor, and then jump. So that would be 2. Over is 1, back is 2. Over is 3, back is 4. From there, 2 movements left. We have mountain climbers and shoulder taps. For those mountain climbers, I'm going to be down in a push-up position. Your goal is to get your knee and your tricep to make contact. So I'm going to be down on the floor. I can simply step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can even run in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a lot of different options for those mountain climbers. Then we're going to get pretty advanced with the shoulder taps. You can do these in a push-up or a handstand, or you can do them in a push-up plank. I'm going to show the push-up plank first. This is the easier of the 2. I'm going to go back into that same position that I was doing mountain climbers. And the reason it's called shoulder taps, my goal is to get my hand literally to tap my shoulder. So for those of you that struggle with front rack mobility, if you can't get your hands to your shoulders, feel free to cross this movement. So in a push-up position, I'm going to bring my hands to my shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can cross 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth. If you want a more advanced version, you're literally going to do this in a handstand. So you would literally kick up against the wall and while upside down, do those shoulder taps. Now, we're not going to kick up against this wall. Instead, I'm going to have my helper come join me, and I'm going to do a handstand, and he's going to hold me, and I'm going to show you what these look like. So here's how, Misty, hey, go on, sweetie. Here's how this looks. I'm going to kick up into a handstand, and I'm going to, hold on, and I'm going to, hold me. I'm going to kick up into a handstand, and I'm going to do those shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, or cross, hold on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and that is our last move. So the workout of the warm-up. So we're going to do 6 of everything in our warm-up. From there, we're going into our strength. Our strength is a 10-minute EMOM, every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. Depending on the object you're holding, you're going to do 30 to 45 seconds of a good morning, either holding the object in front of you or it's going to be back on your traps. My suggestion, if you have a kettlebell, we're going to hold it in front of us. What is a good morning? I'm going to do a slight bend in my knees, and I'm going to hinge at my hips so I feel the stretch in my hamstring, keeping my back flat, and stand. And down, and up, and down, and up. The reason it's 35 to 40 seconds is because this is a slower movement. I do not want you to rush this. So I don't want to say do 10, do 12, do 14. Instead, I just want you slowly moving for 35 to 40 seconds. If you have a dumbbell, my suggestion for the dumbbell is to put it on your traps. And then same thing, slight bend in the knees. I'm going to hinge and then stand. I'm going to hinge and then stand. So every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, we're going to do 35 to 40 seconds of good mornings. Then our workout. It is called Deuces, the number 2, because it is a 22-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible in 22 minutes. We're going to start with 25 sit-ups. Again, knees towards the ceiling is easier. Butterfly is a little bit more challenging, tapping the floor behind us and in front. 20 of those jumping squats, making sure we get air underneath our feet. For those dips, again, knees bent is easier, legs straight is going to be harder. 15 dips. For those 20 kettlebell and dumbbell overhead squats, it's going to be 10 on each arm. Then 15 of those glute bridges. Feel free to challenge yourself by doing them elevated or by doing them weighted with a weight on your hips. 10 of those tabletop touches, trying to get opposite arm to opposite leg, 5 on each side. Then 10 burpees over our kettlebell, so you do not need to clap overhead. Instead, we jump over our kettlebell or dumbbell. 20 mountain climbers total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 20. And then those 20 shoulder taps, either in a handstand or a plank position. So don't forget, today is the big day that workout number 2 gets released at games.crossfit.com/theopen. If you haven't done the first one, that is okay. You still have time, but don't let it catch up to you. Another workout gets released next Friday, and then you'll have 3 workouts that you need to complete. So if you haven't done it yet, you have plenty of time, but let's start getting on those, guys. Good luck.